Hi everyone, today we'll solve a model logical reasoning paper in a timed manner specially developed for IT companies. 25 questions in 25 minutes. If you are a beginner to logical reasoning, I suggest you to go through our in-depth tutorials on each topic where we have taught shortcuts, tips and tricks. In this video, we'll see how to apply those tricks and solve your paper quickly and correctly in the allotted time. So let the timer begin. Question number 1, which number is not correct in the series? We have 16, 16, 32, 96, 84, 19, 20. So here the difference is rising very rapidly. Difference is huge over here. Here it is very less. So what does this mean? As per in the in-depth tutorial, you can see that this means that this might be related to squares or cubes or even multiplication. So let's see, 16, 16, we can say this 16 multiplied by 1 is 16. 32, we can say this 16 multiplied by 2 is 32. 96 can be divided by 16. 16 6 are 96, but 96 is also divisible by 32. So 32 multiplied by 3 is 96. 96 so this way if we try 96 into 4, what you will get? 384. So multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4. So this has to be multiplication by 5. Let's try 384 multiplied by 5. You will get 1920. This multiplied by 6 has to be this answer. So let us check which is wrong. So over here if you multiply 1920 by 6, you get 11520. So this is the wrong sequence or wrong number in the series. So this is the answer. Question number 2, if in a certain code language all these things are given, this means this, which word in that language stands for frog? It is very easy, good little frog. Okay, so frog is over here. What is for good? Good is in this and this sentence. So what is the common over here? ZCI, that is good. Little is over here, little is again over here. So little is common over here. What is common? Das. So that is not there. So frog means MXI. That is the answer. Again over here we have a series sum. Just like I have told in the in-depth tutorials, always write this A to Z and their positions in rough before you start the paper, because it becomes easier to solve the sums. Observe here what you have: 22U1, 4B2, 21B. Observe the last one digit, it increases. So last one must be 5 over here. After that what you have? 22U1. So it might be related to position, but 22 is V, 1 is A. But if you observe closely, 22 minus 1 is 21 and U is nothing but 21. So what you will have? 4 minus 2 is 2 and B is nothing but 2. So what you will have? Here you have 5. Here again 22 4, 21 5, up down. So there might be two series, 22 21 and next will be 20, 4 5 and next will be 6 over here. This is the next one. So not needed. 20 minus 5 is 15, 15 is nothing but O. Answer is 20O5. Moving on. Directly we can see this is related to verbal analogy. Pen is to paper as to paintbrush is to what? Answer is canvas. The only way to master verbal analogy is to have good reading habits. You should know regarding animals, what all sounds they make, then the animals and their young ones should be there. Then also animal, what are the group of animals called? Where do the animals live? Like dog lives in a kennel. All these terms, or even physical quantities like mass, weight and all that stuff and their units. When you know all this stuff, then only you can master verbal analogy. So keep reading. Moving on to next question. How many times do hands of a clock make a right angle with each other between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m.? Check out the in-depth tutorial of clocks, because here the trick has been given. Also it is a standard question as such. You should know that every 1 hour, in every hour, the clock hands make a right angle 2 times. So in 2 hours it will be 4 times, 3 hours it will be 6 times. But the exception is that between 8 to 10 and 2 to 4, in these 2 hours it makes only 3 times and not 4 times. Here also in these 2 hours right angle is made not 4 times but only 3 times. So what does this mean? In one day it makes the right angle 44 times, or in 12 hours it makes for 22 times. Remember, now 4 to 8 p.m. what you will have? 4 hours, so 8 times right angle. Then 8 to 10 p.m. we have already seen 3 times. 8 plus 3 is 11. Moving to next question. 6 friends, namely A, B, C, D, E, F, are sitting in front of each other in a circle and are playing. So there is circle, there are 6 friends, E is on the left side of D. So let us assume this is D, left side is this. Now they are facing each other, and so this is the left side of D, E is on the left side of D, C is between A and B, F is between E and A. So E is over here, F has to be over here, and A has to be over here. F cannot be over here because F is between E and A. Then who is on the left side of B? Now C is between A and B. So A is here, B has to be here, then it will be C. On the left side of B is D. Moving on. Again, by seeing, we can see that this is non-verbal reasoning. We have to find the next figure in the sequence. Over here, pause the video, try to figure out the sequence. I'll tell you what the sequence is. See over here, this circle which is there, it is moving 3 places. So this is a square. We have these places over here, right? These positions, circle is moving 3 places. From here, it is going 1, 2 and 3rd. Again, over here it comes. Then again 3 places, 1, 2 and 3. It comes over on the 3rd place. Again, 1st, 2nd, 3rd place. Again 1, 2 and 3, 3rd place. So now it will be 1, 2 and 3rd place. It has to come over here. So answer might be any of these. Again, this remains straight, straight. Reverse, it remains same. Then again change, so it should remain same. Again it is same over here. Then over here it is like this. Then it inverted, remains same, remains same. Again it changes. It should remain same. So answer is B. Moving on. For questions 8 to 9, read the information given and answer the question. So there are 2 questions. You have 2 minutes for it. Spend 1 minute for drawing the diagram or whatever is there, understanding. Spend 1 minute for that and then solve the questions quickly. This would help you save time as well as get the correct answer. What is given? There is a hexagonal table and 6 people are sitting at the table with 1 person at each side of the table. So there is a hexagonal table. C is immediate neighbor of D, not useful. A and B are opposite to each other. Let's start with that. A and B are opposite to each other. F has 1 person sitting between him and B. So F can be here or here. But let us draw another diagram over here. This is A, this is B. So F can be here, 1 person sitting between B and F can be here, again here, 1 person sitting between F and B. Then E is sitting opposite side of D. So, but is not a neighbor of A. So, E cannot be here. E can be here or here. But if E is over here, opposite D cannot be. So, E can be here and D is here. Same way over here, what we will have? E over here and D over here. So, what is remaining? C is remaining. You will have like this. C is immediate neighbor of D. That condition gets satisfied. So, there are 2 possible diagrams. Let's solve the question. Who is opposite of F? Opposite of F is C. Opposite of F is C. Answer is C. Moving on. Who is between B and F? This is the same diagram just drawn nicely. Both the combinations are given. Who is between B and F? B, F, answer is E. B, F, answer is E over here. By looking, you will realize this is a syllogism sums plus the word possibility is there. So possibility kind of sums are there and we have to solve it using Venn diagrams. Let's draw the Venn diagram. Some monkeys are cats. So this is monkeys. These are cats. Some cats are trees. So some cats are trees. No tree is an ox. So this is an ox. All the oxes being cats is a possibility. Now over here what we can have here in this Venn diagram, this is not possible, right? For a possibility there has to be one diagram where conclusion not possible, one diagram where conclusion possible. Let's draw other Venn diagrams. This is say monkeys, this is say cats, some of the cats are trees and all the oxes are over here, right? All the oxes are over here. So condition that no tree is a ox is satisfied, plus all the oxes being cats is a possibility. This is also satisfied. Here it is not satisfied, here it is satisfied. So this is valid conclusion. Next, at least some trees are monkeys. Don't pay attention to the word at least. It simply means some trees are monkeys. That means it is a normal conclusion. That means some trees are monkeys has to be true in all the possible Venn diagrams. Is it true over here? Some trees are monkeys? No. So that means this is not a valid conclusion. Wrong. So only one follows. Moving on. Assuming everything given to be true, select which of the following sentences are valid logical conclusion. So statement, conclusion type of thing. Check out the in-depth tutorial for how to handle these questions. Let's solve it. Pause the video and read the sentence. Yoga, which originated in 1956 AD, has its origin in India and is becoming popular in the West. Let's see the conclusions. Yoga is not popular in India. No one said that. Okay. There is no direct reference of it. West did not know about yoga in 1955. This is valid. This is correct because yoga originated in 1956 and its origin is in India. So other countries don't know about yoga, and that too before 1956 no one knew. Then yoga is losing popularity in present India. Again, this is not mentioned, it is just saying that it is becoming popular in West. So only 2 follows. Again, pause the video and try to find the sequence. Let's see what the sequence might be. 4 pointed, 5 pointed star, they get inverted. Okay, they are inverting, and then we are getting this. Here also this gets inverted and we are getting n and this circle. Here it is plus sign, here it is multiplication. So this is inverting, this is exchanging, this is exchanging. Now from here to here, now this from we are getting this from here to here. Again, this is exchanging with, this is exchanging between themselves, this is exchanging, and then we are getting this. Then if you observe this and this diagram, this is exchanging between themselves, and we are getting this. So next again this is over, this again repeats. So these two must exchange, these two must exchange. What you will get? You will get this or this diagram, right? Plus we know plus multiplication, plus multiplication, plus then it has to be multiplication. Moving on. Harry set an alarm on his old clock for Thursday 10:30 am. He set his clock correctly on Wednesday 12:30 am. He was unaware that the clock gains 30 minutes every 51 hours. When his alarm went off, what was the actual time? See now, from Wednesday 12:30 am to Thursday 12:30 am, we have how many? 24 hours. Thursday 12:30 am to Thursday 10:30 am, that is nothing but 10 hours. So total 34 hours are there. Now 30 minutes are gained in 51 hours. So how many minutes are gained in 34 hours? Simply cross multiply. What you will get? You will get 30, that would be equal to 17 2s are 3s are 3, 10, 20. 20 minutes would be gained. 20 minutes are gained. That means actual time must be less. So whenever alarm goes off at 10:30 am, 20 minutes have been gained. So real time is less. 10:30 minus 20 minutes is 10:10 am. Moving on. Assuming everything given to be true, select which are valid and logical conclusions. Again, it is a statement conclusion type of sum. Pause the video and read the sentences carefully, and we'll move on to the conclusions which are there. What are the conclusions? Tidal power is obtained from water. Yes, it is true because it is form of hydropower. Tidal energy is more consistent than solar energy. Yes, it is true because tides are more predictable than wind and sun. So we can get consistent energy out of tides. Next, tidal energy can only be obtained in form of electricity. No, it is false. Why? Because tides obtained from energy from tides can be converted into useful forms of power, mainly electricity, not only electricity. So only 1 and 2 follow. Moving on to the next question. Assuming everything in it to be true, select which are valid and logical courses of actions that can be followed. This IPL season, spot fixing and match fixing scandals have again poked their head up, disgracing reputation of the competition itself. Not only players but some team managers too are involved in fixing the matches. Actions. IPL must immediately be scrapped out completely. No, this is a very harsh action. Check out the tutorial on courses of actions to understand how to solve questions very quickly related to it. Never take harsh actions unless necessary. All the players and managers must be given handsome salaries to stop this fixing. Now taking this action can be useful, but we do not know outcome. Players might have a different motivation for corruption, so this also is not useful. All managers and players must be investigated immediately. Again, this is harassment. Unnecessary innocent players should not be invested, so none of the above follows. Moving on. Again, assuming everything in it to be true, select which are valid and logical courses of action that can be followed. Many youngsters in India are consuming alcohol even when they are 17 years old, though the legal age of drinking is 21 years in India. This lands them in trouble with law, and this is a start of a troubled teen age, and this most of the times results in criminal behavior in the future. Actions. Government must make legal drinking age 17 years, as this will not get the youngsters into trouble with the law. A very wrong action. Drinking age is 21 because of some reason. Reducing it will not solve the problem. All youngsters who have been caught for underage drinking must be kept on a tight watch, as they may become criminals in future. Again, this is wrong, as this is a very harsh action. It might have happened that the person might have consumed alcohol because of mistake. So keeping everyone on tight watch is infringing privacy. So none of them follows. Moving on. By looking, we know this is a syllogism sum with the word possibility. So you have to draw the Venn diagram. Let's start. All the hills are breads. Okay. All the dogs are pens. So this is dog. This is pen. No bread is a dog. So bread and dog is not connected. Conclusion. Some dogs being hills is a possibility. Bread and dog cannot be connected. So hill comes under bread. So hill and dog can also be never connected. So this is never going to happen. This is not a possibility at all. no hill is a pen. This is a normal conclusion, not a possibility one. For normal conclusion has to be true in all the possible Venn diagrams. It is true over here. We can draw this Venn diagram like this also. This is what? Bread. This is what? This is pen, and this is dog. So here pen and hills overlap. So hill can be a pen. So it is not following over here. So it is not a valid conclusion. Neither one nor two follows. P starts running from his house towards east, so direction sum, this is north. P starts running towards east for 28 meters, this is P, okay. Then he turns left, runs 8 meters more, this is 8. He walks 4 meters towards his right, again goes 4 meters and leaves. R lives in the same house as P and starts running from the house towards south for 28 meters, okay. R is running over here for 28 meters. He then turns left and runs for 40 meters. He runs 40 meters over here before stopping. R has come over here. Seeing R running, P takes right turn and starts running again for 36 meters. P takes right turn and goes here 36 meters. 36, 8 plus 28 is 36. So P will come over here. How far is he from S? 40. And what is this? This is 28 plus 4 is 32. So this is nothing but 32. This is 40. So this will be 8. Answer is 8 meters. Mac started walking towards east, so it is a direction sum. Draw the north. Mac walks towards the east. He walked for 10 meters, so this is 10 meters. He then turned right and ran for 20 meters. This is 20 meters. He stopped and took a right turn and ran for 5 meters. This is 5 meters. He then again took a right turn and walked for 35 meters. So this is 20 plus high. This is 35 meters. He then saw a deer to his right, so he walked in that direction for 10 meters more. So he walked 10 meters more towards his right because he saw a deer. Then he turned right and jumped for 2 meters, jumped for 2 meters, turned right and jumped for 2 meters. In which direction he is from the starting point? Common sense, it is northeast. Moving on. For questions 20 to 22, read the information and answer the questions. Now here there are 3 questions, so you have 3 minutes, spend time, okay, to read the information and solve the questions quickly. A is sister of B, so A is over here and sister of B, so we'll denote sister by double arrow or siblings by double arrow. B and C are married couples. B and C are married couples. C is father of D, so C is male, B must be female. A is sister of B, that means A is female. C is father of D, okay. B is mother-in-law of F, okay. C has no daughters and has only one son, so C has only one son, this is D, and no daughters, so mother-in-law of F. B is mother-in-law of F, so wife is F and B is mother-in-law of F. A and G are married couple, so A is married to G. A is female, so G is male. Now married is shown by dash, right? Next generation is this. Then H is daughter of G, so H is daughter of G. Let us see what is given. What is the question? What is H of B? What is H of B? H is niece of B because B is nothing but aunt, so H is niece of B. Moving on to the next question. How is C related to?
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone.
Yes, hi
everyone. Yes, it is Toussaint. Okay, so it was just a suggestion. I was suggest something. Yes, for the lecture that we have just looking for the lecture. So it was so quick, but I understand that it is the way to, how can I say, that we can be in mood of examination, because the examination also it will be fast. Yeah. Okay.
Are you done? Twister, can you hear me? I request Rosaria, I request Amy Public Fabien to unmute yourself, please.
I was unmuted. Okay, so it was good for the last.
Wait me 1 minute to solve this issue for muting and unmuting. All right, Twister, you can unmute again yourself and raise up your query.
Okay, thank you. So I just saying that, yes, I see the target was to be in the mood of examination, because the examination, it will be so quick, and that is good. But it will be good also to think to see the way we can think about this. Is why we suggest that we can get the videos. Yes, when we are in the class, to be quick, there is no problem.
I said already, while we start this class, we are automatically live on YouTube called Pashigi Heseti. So
this is
the video, video will always remain on that YouTube channel for Pashigi Heseti, and you can go there and you can watch the class how it was.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, yes. Now I'm satisfied.
All right. If anyone has query, he can raise up his hand, then I can give a mic. Is here Kid Danny? All right, Danny. I can see Danny is raising a hand back. Okay, you can now unmute, then speak up.
Hello?
Yes, Danny, I can hear you. Danny, please speak up. Danny, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have work. I was asking this. Hello?
You was asking what? Danny, I can't hear you. So let me move up to the others. Let me move up to the next lecturer. By the time just you have very nice connection, you will just again raise your hand up. I will give you a mic, then you will speak up. All right. So guys, let's go to the next today's lecture. And yeah, all right. Let me try to share today's lecture as well.
Who are you going to be? And if you'll notice, I'm not asking.
Sharing the things which is.
Hi everyone, welcome to this video that we've created just for you exclusively, which is on the Infosys exam questions that were asked on the 28th this month. Now, this video would only have the discussion of the verbal ability portion of the questions that were discussed. So we just want to quickly take you through what were the sort of questions that came, what category do they belong to, and what are the answers to that question. So I've tried to not just show you the question, I've tried to show you the category that it falls in, and I've also of course discussed the answer, right? So without further delay, I'm directly jumping to the questions for your sake. So the first question is on sentence improvement, where you can see that there is a text given and acquired land to build your home. The next step is draw out an estimate of the cost of production, and it is prudent to entrust a well-established architect with the task of estimation as well as the construction work of your home. Now, something that I want you to notice is that these sentences are very, very long, right? And it takes the focus away from where we are supposed to actually put in our mind and heart. So when you see that sentences are so long, you need to break it down in different parts and evaluate them separately. Now for us, the only concern that we have portion, which is the next step, is draw out an estimate of the cost of production. Options that we have. So we need to understand which is the correct. Just looking at the underlined portion and getting to the correct answer. Now the first option says the next step is to draw up an estimate of the cost of production. The next step will be to draw up an estimate of cost of production. The next step is drawing up the estimated cost of production, construction, and the next step is to draw on an estimated cost of construction, right? Now, look at the sentence. Once you have acquired land to build your home, the next step, like the immediate next thing to do after acquiring the land, is what we're talking about. Now, in the given question, they have missed a preposition. The next step is draw, or is to draw out an estimate of cost of construction, right? So will be to draw up, we are not looking at something, which is going to happen later. It's saying that this has happened, this is step 1, and now this is step 2. So will be to draw up is not one of our answer options. Is drawing up, we are not looking at continuous tense. The first half of the sentence or the second part of the sentence is not in continuous tense. And you do not, if you look at the last option, it says to draw on an estimated cost of construction, but we do not draw on, we always draw up and whatever estimate of the cost of construction. So by default, your correct answer option for this is answer option A, that once you have acquired the land to build your home, the next step is to draw up an estimate of cost of construction, and it is prudent to entrust a well-established architect with the task of estimation as well as the construction work of your home. Number 2, again, this is also a sentence improvement question that you have. The causes of mild depression can be varied, and those who truly want to manage this condition will be well advised to begin by seeking the cause, the spark that lighted this unfortunate fire, and then systematically take steps to make sure that the spark is not lit. So this is talking about mild depression and people who experience mild depression. So it says that the causes of mild depression can be different, and for people who truly want to manage this condition, they want to handle their depression, what they need to do is they need to first understand the cause. They need to understand something that caused this depression to happen, and then systematically take steps to make sure that the spark is not lit, right? So once you've identified what is the cause, then you treat your cause. That's what it means. Now our underlined portion is the spark that lighted this unfortunate fire. And we have 4 answer options available. The spark that lights this unfortunate fire, the unfortunate spark that lights this fire, the spark that unfortunately lighted this fire, and the sparks that lights this unfortunate fire, right? Now, if I look at option D, it says the sparks that lights. Now, this becomes grammatically incorrect, so it's ruled out as an option. It would have been spark that lights or sparks that light, whichever way. Spark that unfortunately lighted this fire. Again, the unfortunately lighted doesn't make perfect sense out here. The unfortunate spark that lights this fire. Now, unfortunate spark, we are not describing the spark out here. We are saying that the fire is unfortunate, right? So it remains, we are remaining with one option to consider, which is A. That is the spark that lights this unfortunate fire. Okay. Now, if you look at question 3, it's on sentence correction. So they've given you 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 as your options, and it's the same sentence which has been written in 4 different styles. We need to select which is the correct statement. What I want you to notice out here is that it doesn't mean just because the statements are in the sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, answer option is A1, B2, C3, and D4, right? They've shuffled the answer options also. So you need to be very careful as to which sentence is correct, and not just which sentence is correct, it pertains to which answer option. So let's say if 4 is correct, then our correct answer option is C, right? So be very careful and wary of these facts. Now it says the written examination should take you the optimum part of an hour. So we are basically talking about the written examination. We're saying that this is going to take you whatever time, in the written exam. So the first one says it's going to take optimum part of your hour. The written examination must take you the maximum part of an hour. Now, you know, statements like must, will happen certainly, these are very extreme statements. You know, we do not look at ever selecting such answer types for our questions because it may not take you the maximum part of an hour. So what is the question of must, right? So that's why 2 definitely gets ruled out as an answer option. The written examination should take you the better part of an hour, and the written examination should take you the largest part of an hour. Now again, largest part of an hour doesn't make sense. So that leaves us with 2 answer options to consider. One is optimum part of an hour and the other is the better part of an hour. Generally, colloquially, we say that they should take you the better half of your time, something like that. So definitely our answer option that we're looking at is 3. Now 3 pertains to A. So our correct answer option is A, that the written examination should take you the better part of an hour, right? Now this question is on critical reasoning, right? And we had discussed this earlier that we were predicting critical reasoning would come for these exams. So we have seen questions on critical reasoning also. The first one says booms and slumps are a part of economic cycles just as inflation and deflation. So this is a passage which is on economics, and it's saying that booms and slumps, you know, your ups and downs are just part of economic cycles just as inflation and deflation. The US has experienced an economic depression in the past and is now experiencing an economic boom. So, you know, in the past, it has gone through that slump phase, a depression, and now it's going through the boom phase. There is a huge demand for software, and software projects are offshore to India, thus triggering off a huge demand for software specialists in India. So now they're saying that there is a huge demand for software. What are done with these software projects? They're offshore to India. As a result, what is happening? There is a huge demand for software specialists to India because their work is outsourced or offshore to us. Now, which of the following is a false assumption? So what I want you to understand is they are saying that out of the 4 answer options, 3 of them will be correct assumptions. Only 1 assumption does not make sense. So which is that false assumption that we are looking at? All right. Now, the first says India has a huge pool of talent. That is a very valid assumption to make because when these projects are being offshore, that is because there is a huge pool of software talent. Otherwise, in the first place, it wouldn't get offshored out here. Next, it says software specialists command high salaries in India. It then says the next stage in the drama of the US economy is a slump. Now, you know, it says booms and slumps are a part of the economic cycles just as inflation and deflation. So earlier there was a depression, now there is a boom. So of course, maybe again there will be a depression because these are part of economic cycles, right? So this is also a valid assumption. India is favored offshoring destination. Why? Because of reasonable labor costs. Now that also to a certain extent makes sense, that because your labor costs are, you know, very cheap and they're good out here, which is why it's being outsourced here. Had this been an expensive option, people would not have considered it. And if you see option D, in a way contradicts with option B, reasonable labor costs and command high salaries. So they're both contradicting, but logically they cannot command high salaries, or they should not be commanding high salaries according to this particular passage, because that is why a lot of work is being offshored or outsourced to us. So an invalid assumption or a false assumption out here is option B. Okay. Fill in the blank, very easy. So you have a question and you have a blank, and you just have to fill the blank with whatever words or phrases or one single word, whatever that is. Paying attention to visual stimuli is important in the development of object recognition and dash memory, motor skills, and other key activities. Now, for these sort of questions, what you quickly need to do is try and substitute every part and see which one makes grammatically, which one makes sense grammatically. Also, it leaves you with the same meaning, right? So paying attention to visual stimuli is important in the development of object recognition and is also needed for the development of memory, motor skills, and other key activities. Paying attention to visual stimuli is important in the development of object recognition and also needs to develop memory, motor skills, and other key activities. Paying attention to visual stimuli is important in the development of object recognition and is also needed towards the development in memory, motor skills, and other key activities. And lastly, paying attention to visual stimuli is important in the development of object recognition and is also needed to the developing of. Now out here, if you see, the game is with the prepositions they've used. So in the first one, it says for the development. Second one, it says needs to develop. Third one says towards the development. And the fourth one says to the developing of. So of course, the correct one is also needed for the development of. So paying attention to visual stimuli is important in the development of object recognition and is also needed for the development of memory, motor skills, and other key activities. What I want you to notice out here is, if you see in the first half of the sentence, they have already used development of object recognition. So you know that here also for your and dash memory, it will be development of, it will not be development in or developing of, right? You get that cue or hint from here. Another critical reasoning question. Christopher Marlowe was Shakespeare's contemporary and wrote just as well, though not too well known. So we're talking about another one person that we haven't heard of very, very frequently, but he was as good as Shakespeare. One of his plays is The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, that was inspired by Goethe's Fortbach. Right, so it's saying that one of his plays, which is known as Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, and that was inspired by Goethe's, whatever, right, by some character. The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus is a reader's delight with exquisite phrases and expression. So they're talking, about the positive things about this particular novel, that it's a reader's delight and it has really very well nuanced phrases and expressions. However, comic relief in the play is ribald and vulgar and out of tune with the rest of the play. So the comic relief that he has used is not in tune, in line with the rest of the play. In fact, it is ribald and vulgar to a certain extent. This type of comic relief is uncharacteristic of Marlowe and is found nowhere in his other works like The Jew of Malta or Tamburlaine. Right, so it's saying that he generally does not write this type of comic relief, and that's why we have not observed it in any other piece of his work. Okay, now it says which of the following is a logical conclusion to the above. So whatever has been given above, we need to find out what is the logical conclusion to this particular question. Now it says the out of tune comic relief is now thought to be of whatever it's external interpolations. It has a theory which is related to some, like I said, external interpolation that they've mentioned. His rival printed the text with additions. He used cheap comic relief to popularize his work, and Marlowe was afflicted with a psychosomatic disease when he wrote Dr. Faustus. Now, all the other options, if you look at rival printed the text, we do not know. That's a very strong conclusion to make. He used cheap comic relief to popularize his work. Again, that's a very strong conclusion or strong opinion to make about someone. And he was afflicted with a psychosomatic disease. That also is a very strong opinion. So something that makes sense is that this out of tune comic relief is now thought to be of some external interpolation. So your correct answer is answer option A. Now, sentence improvement. When in a job, you feel that you are overburdened and underappreciated, that the demands of the job are increasing, and despite all your efforts, you're not able to manage the work and get blames for not performing, stress becoming chronic, and one loses interest in job and many other activities in life. Again, if you see, it's a long sentence, but